Good morning. Today we're going to talk of Alexander Men. He is a Orthodox priest. Now, Orthodox are like Catholics, but it's from the Eastern rites, and he's in Russia. He's born in 1935 to a Jewish couple, and then later he and his mother actually convert and become baptized by the inspiration of a very inspiring priest in their area. Now, Russia had had several times of suppression of other religions, but certainly now, or during this time, during the whole period of this Russian time when they had communism in there, it was very much suppressed. So even though you could do it, it was frowned on quite heavily. So he will go on. He'll study at the university. He'll study biology, and as he's studying it, he's so impressed with the complexity and the wonders of what God has created in people. He's just so amazed by it. But as the authorities become aware of his religious leanings, he's kicked out before he graduates. And that helped actually push him into considering his vocation to be a priest. So he'll go on, he studies theology. It's, I think in 1955, 1960, he gets ordained. And he's spent in a pretty obscure place. But in Russia, where it's being suppressed, there's a lot of people searching for the spiritual, for that connection with God. And he was able to give it, and to give it to them with Christ, with the insights that Christ has given us. And it was just such a gift. And he just had such good feelings for it. His friends had advised him to leave the country because clearly he was going to be in danger. And then in 1988, when Mikhail Gorbachev kind of loosened things a little bit, well, the pace of change came very fast. And all of a sudden, he was a very popular speaker. He was a writer. People were reading about him. Well, there was a lot of people who had been atheists and wanted to stay that way and were very intimidated by this whole new change and feeling like it was very anti-communist, very anti-Russian. So he had a lot of resistance. But he didn't ever talk about being afraid. He said, actually, we might have a bigger problem. He said, the most difficult moment in the church will come when everything is permitted for us. Then we'll be ashamed because we're not ready to be witnesses. And it's almost like as a church, we do better when we're persecuted. And personally, if we're attacked and we're challenged in our faith, we do better. And yet here in America, we have such freedom religiously. I mean, we have more denominations than the whole rest of the world has religions. And yet, with all our freedom, isn't the nuns, not N-U-N, but N-O-N-Es, isn't those who say there is no God almost permeate more? They claim, however, that no one can say that there isn't a God. They just might think that they are the God. And we who are trying to be Christians try to look to God outside of ourselves, in with other people, in the connection between ourselves, and in this we appreciate something of the mystery of God. So as he's going on and he gets this freedom to be printing more, they warn him, hey, this is getting dangerous. And he doesn't work about it. He says, at the present, I am like the sower in the parable. I have been given a unique opportunity, unique chance to spread the seed. So he was doing quite well in this new era, but as change is coming, and it's coming so fast, a lot of people get pretty upset with this. So on September 9th, 1990, as he's going to his church, he's attacked by some guys, hit over the head with an axe, and he dies instantly. They never find out who did it. And in spite of the thought that, they've ended him, his writings actually will become much more popular then. It's hard for us to put ourselves into the image of how it would be in Russia with a suppressed religion, and you can't, you're not supposed to believe in God and stuff. And here, where it's almost an expected thing. Our dollars say, in God we trust. We all have that leaning towards God. perhaps we have more dangers than when we had to fight for that little bit of it ourselves. Let's avoid danger. Let's, and I say let us, but let me not think of myself so much today, but think of God creating me and the wonders of that creation and the wonders of my freedom to appreciate the fact that I can freely worship God, freely tell you about God on this social media. I'm not banned. I can do that. We may owe a lot to Alexander Men as an example of one who goes beyond himself and puts himself at risk to bring Christ to others. And as they were seeking meaning, so they find it in the life of Christ.